Welcome to Natural Healing Hub, your trusted corner of the internet for health insights that empower and inform. Today, we're tackling a subject that's both urgent and deeply personal: the hidden signs of pancreatic cancer. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this: you're starting your day, pouring that first cup of coffee, but something feels off. Maybe it's a nagging ache in your stomach that's been lingering too long, or you're so exhausted you can barely get through the morning. Perhaps you've noticed your jeans fitting a bit looser, even though you haven't changed a thing about your routine. You tell yourself it's just stress, a bad meal, or maybe just aging creeping in. But what if those subtle whispers from your body are something far more serious? What if they're your body's desperate attempt to wave a red flag before it's too late? Pancreatic cancer has earned its chilling nickname, the silent killer, because it's a master at staying invisible, often slipping past our defenses until it's reached an advanced stage. Here's the reality check. According to the American Cancer Society, it's the third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the U.S., with a 5-year survival rate of just 12%. That's heavy, we know, but here's the light at the end of the tunnel. Catching it early can change everything, and that starts with you being in the know. At Natural Healing Hub, we've spent years diving deep into the latest medical research, sifting through studies, and collaborating with experts to bring you the kind of knowledge that makes a difference. Pancreatic cancer is one of the toughest challenges in medicine. It's cunning, often mimicking everyday complaints we're all too quick to dismiss. That weight loss you thought was a happy accident? It could be a warning. That fatigue you blamed on a busy week? It might be hiding a bigger truth. The science is clear: early detection is a game changer, yet most people don't even know what to look for. That's where we come in. Over the next 20 minutes, we're unpacking 7 critical warning signs of pancreatic cancer, grounded in cutting-edge research from trusted sources like the Lancet, Nature, and the Mayo Clinic. But we're not stopping there. We'll also share practical, science-backed tips on lifestyle changes that could help tip the scales in your favor, from diet tweaks to habits that reduce inflammation. This isn't just another health video, it's a wake-up call to tune into your body's signals with fresh eyes. Could that nagging symptom be more than it seems? Are you ready to take charge of your health in a way you never have before? Stick with us, because we're diving into answers that could reshape how you listen to your body. And if this journey feels as vital to you as it does to us, hit that subscribe button to Natural Healing Hub. Let's keep digging into health truths together, one step at a time. Why pancreatic cancer is so sneaky. First, let's paint the picture. Your pancreas is a small, pear-shaped organ nestled behind your stomach, working like a backstage hero. It churns out digestive enzymes to break down carbs, proteins, and fats, while also releasing insulin and glucagon to keep your blood sugar in check. It's a multitasker, but when cancer creeps in, it throws everything off balance. The problem? The symptoms are sneaky. Think vague indigestion or tiredness you'd blame on a busy week. According to the Mayo Clinic, most pancreatic cancer cases aren't caught until stage 3 or 4, when treatments like surgery are often off the table. That's why it's called the silent killer. It hides in plain sight. But here's the flip side: early detection can boost survival odds dramatically. A 2021 study in JAMA Oncology found that catching pancreatic cancer at stage I pushes the 5-year survival rate closer to 80%. That's a game changer, right? So, our mission today is to shine a spotlight on those subtle clues your body might be sending. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to it. Sign number 1: unexplained weight loss. Kicking things off with sign number 1: sudden, unintentional weight loss. Picture this: you step on the scale and see you've dropped 10 or 15 pounds in a couple of months, but you haven't changed your diet, hit the gym, or even tried to slim down. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Hold that thought. When a tumor grows in the pancreas, it can mess with those digestive enzymes, meaning your body's not absorbing nutrients like it should. You're eating the same burgers or salads, but the calories and vitamins aren't sticking, and the pounds melt away. Here's where we get real: weight loss isn't always bad news. Stress, a new workout routine, or even thyroid issues can cause it. But if you're losing weight and feeling bloated, low on energy, or just off, it's time to perk up. A 2020 study in the Lancet Oncology showed unexplained weight loss popped up in 70% of pancreatic cancer patients before diagnosis, often months before other symptoms. Our advice? Keep a loose eye on your weight. Jot down any changes in a notebook or app and pair them with other symptoms. If the scale's dipping for no clear reason, don't brush it off, loop in your doctor for a chat. Tests like blood work or an abdominal ultrasound could catch something early. Oh, and if this is resonating with you, hit that like button to let us know. Share in the comments if you've ever noticed weird weight changes. What did you do about it? Sign number 2, persistent abdominal pain. Next up, sign 2, persistent abdominal pain. This isn't the oops, I overdid the tacos kind of discomfort. We're talking about a dull, nagging ache, usually in your upper belly or around your belly button. Sometimes it creeps to your back or even your left shoulder like a stubborn knot that won't loosen. Why does this happen? A pancreatic tumor can press on nerves or irritate nearby tissues, especially when your digestive system's working hard after a meal. Let's pause for a personal take. We've all had stomachaches we've ignored, right? In my circle, I've seen friends chalk this up to gas, stress, or a pulled muscle, only to wish they'd paid attention sooner. The clue with pancreatic cancer pain is that it lingers, unlike indigestion, which comes and goes. Harvard Health notes this pain often feels worse when you lie down or eat, a red flag. It's not just a passing bug. A 2019 study in gut found that 60% of patients reported this kind of pain before diagnosis, sometimes for weeks or months. Here's a practical tip. Start a symptom journal. Write down when the pain hits, what you ate, and how long it sticks around. If it's been a few weeks and isn't tied to spicy wings or a bad day, it's worth a doctor's visit. Imaging like a CT scan can spot trouble early, and trust me, early is where you want to be. If this is hitting close to home, drop a comment below. Have you dealt with mystery pains? Let's talk about it. Sign number 3, jaundice, the yellow warning light. Moving to sign 3, jaundice. This is when your skin, or the whites of your eyes, take on a yellowish tint, and your urine starts looking like dark iced tea. You might also notice stools that are pale, greasy, or floaty, not exactly dinner table talk, but super important. Jaundice happens when a tumor blocks the bile duct, which runs near the pancreas. Bile backs up into your bloodstream, causing that yellow hue, and without bile, your body can't digest fats properly. Here's our 2 cents. Jaundice is like a neon sign shouting, "Pay attention." It's not something you can easily miss, yet some folks dismiss it as bad lighting or a quirky tan. Cleveland Clinic data says jaundice shows up in about 50% of pancreatic cancer cases, often early enough to make a difference. A 2022 Journal of Hepatology study linked bile duct blockages to pancreatic tumors in nearly 40% of early-stage cases, so this is a clue you don't want to ignore. Try this. Check your eyes in natural daylight, or take a peek at your urine color. If you spot yellowing or dark urine that's not tied to dehydration, don't wait for it to magically fix itself. Blood tests for liver function, like bilirubin levels, can zero in on the cause. And a quick note on TUDCA, that bile salt we've heard about. It's great for supporting liver health or easing mild bloating, but if you're jaundiced, skip the DIY remedies and see a pro. Natural fixes are awesome, but they're sidekicks, not superheroes, for serious stuff like this. If this sign's got you thinking, give us a like to keep the convo going. What's the weirdest health clue you've ever noticed? Share it in the comments, we're all ears. Sign number 4, chronic diarrhea. On to sign 4, chronic diarrhea. If you're making way too many bathroom runs with loose, oily stools that smell worse than usual, your pancreas might be sending an SOS. Tumors can disrupt the production of digestive enzymes, leaving fats undigested. That leads to greasy, foul-smelling diarrhea that's tough to ignore. Let's get personal. Diet can play a huge role here. A steady stream of fast food, sugary snacks, or processed carbs can stress your pancreas, mimicking these symptoms or making them worse. WebMD points out that enzyme shortages from pancreatic issues cause malabsorption, triggering diarrhea in 20 to 30% of cases. A 2020 American Journal of Gastroenterology study found that persistent diarrhea was a pre-diagnosis symptom in 25% of pancreatic cancer patients, often tied to fat malabsorption. Here's what we've seen work: cleaning up your diet. Think whole foods like veggies, lean meats, and healthy fats can calm things down for some folks. But if you've ditched the junk and diarrhea is still a problem, it's a red flag. Tests like a fecal elastase assay can check if your pancreas is slacking on enzymes. Catching this early can guide treatment, whether it's supplements or digging deeper for cancer. Our tip? Don't be shy about discussing poop with your doctor. It could save your life. Loving this deep dive? Smash that like button and tell us in the comments, have you ever tackled gut issues with diet changes? What worked for you? Sign number 5, New-Onset diabetes. Sign 5 is a wild card, New-Onset diabetes, especially if you're over 50 with no family history. A tumor can damage the pancreas's insulin-producing cells, sending your blood sugar soaring. Suddenly, you're thirsty all the time, peeing every hour, or feeling sluggish for no reason. Healthline says up to 25% of pancreatic cancer patients develop diabetes in the 2 years before diagnosis, a clue we often overlook. This one hits home. I've watched people get blindsided by a diabetes diagnosis, thinking it's just about cutting carbs, only to find out later it was linked to something bigger. A 2021 diabetes care study found that diabetes diagnosed after age 50 was tied to a 6-fold higher risk of pancreatic cancer within 3 years. That's not small potatoes. If you're noticing classic diabetes signs, thirst, frequent urination, blurry vision, get your blood sugar tested, stat. But don't stop there. Ask for a pancreatic workup, like a CA19-9 blood test or imaging, especially if other symptoms from this list are tagging along. Here's a pro tip: monitor your fasting blood sugar with a cheap glucometer at home. If it's creeping above 100 milligrams per deciliter, talk to your doc. Knowledge is power, and this could be your body's loudest hint yet. If this is sparking ideas, hit that like button and share your story in the comments. Have you or someone you know faced a surprise diabetes diagnosis? Sign number 6, feeling full too fast. Sign 6 is early satiety, feeling stuffed after just a few bites. You sit down to dinner, take a couple of spoonfuls, and your stomach's already saying, no more, thanks. This can happen if a tumor's pressing on your stomach or slowing digestion, turning meals into a slog. Let's be honest, this one's tricky. Overeating, stress, or even acid reflux can make you feel full fast. But with pancreatic cancer, it's relentless, often paired with nausea, bloating, or discomfort. The Mayo Clinic says early satiety shows up in about 15% of cases, sometimes early, but often later. A 2023 clinical gastroenterology and hepatology study noted it as a key symptom in 10% of early-stage patients, especially when combined with weight loss. Our advice? Test drive smaller, nutrient-packed meals, think smoothies with spinach, avocado, and protein powder. If you're still feeling overly full or dropping pounds, it's time for a deeper look. An abdominal ultrasound or endoscopy can spot blockages or tumors. Don't sleep on this, especially if it's a new pattern for you. If this symptom sounds familiar, give us a like and jump into the comments. What's your go-to for managing bloating or fullness? Sign number 7, overwhelming fatigue. Finally, sign 7, persistent fatigue that no amount of sleep can shake. This isn't I stayed up binge watching tired, it's a bone-deep exhaustion that makes getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. Cancer cells are energy hogs, and pancreatic tumors can cause anemia, nutrient deficiencies, or inflammation, all piling onto the slump. Here's our take: fatigue is the symptom we all shrug off. Life's hectic, and coffee's cheap, right? But if you're getting solid sleep and still dragging, your body's trying to tell you something. A 2019 Journal of Clinical Oncology study found fatigue in 80% of pancreatic cancer patients before diagnosis, often months ahead of other signs. Another study in Cancer, 2022, linked it to low iron and vitamin D levels in 65% of cases. What to do? Start with blood work. Check hemoglobin, ferritin, vitamin D, and thyroid function. If those come back normal and you're still wiped, push for a pancreatic evaluation. Our favorite hack? Prioritize sleep hygiene, dim lights, no screens an hour before bed, and a consistent schedule. It won't fix cancer, but it rules out lifestyle culprits. If fatigue's your struggle, hit that like button and share your tips in the comments. How do you fight the afternoon slump? Beyond the signs, what makes pancreatic cancer unique? Now that we've covered the signs, let's zoom out and talk about why pancreatic cancer is such a beast. For one, it's aggressive, often spreading to the liver or lungs before it's even spotted. Its tumors are wrapped in a thick, fibrous shell that blocks oxygen, creating a low-oxygen environment that fuels growth and resists chemo. Johns Hopkins research shows this hypoxic setup makes pancreatic cancer one of the hardest to treat, with only 20% of patients eligible for surgery at diagnosis. Then there's the microbiome angle, and this is wild. A 2022 Nature study found that pancreatic tumors host specific bacteria, like Fusobacterium, that may drive inflammation and growth. Scientists are now testing whether antibiotics or probiotics could slow things down. Our take? It's early days, but supporting your gut with fermented foods, kefir, kimchi, or a high-fiber diet can't hurt. It's not a cure, but it's a step toward a healthier you. Another quirk? Pancreatic cancer loves sugar. A 2018 cancer research study showed that high glucose environments make tumors grow faster, which is why diet matters. We're not saying go keto overnight, but cutting soda, candy, and white bread could starve those cells a bit. If this science geek out is your vibe, give us a like and tell us in the comments what's one sugar swap you've tried. Lifestyle levers to pull. So, what can you do to lower your risk or give your body a fighting chance? Let's get practical with some science-backed moves. Ditch the sugar. As we mentioned, pancreatic cancer thrives on glucose. A 2020 Cell Metabolism study linked high sugar diets to worse survival rates. Try swapping sugary drinks for sparkling water with lemon or snacking on berries instead of cookies. Small changes add up. Kick smoking to the curb. The CDC says smoking ups your risk by 25%. It's tough to quit, but resources like counseling or apps like Quit Now can help. Your pancreas deserves the break. Load up on vitamin D. Harvard Health research shows vitamin D boosts immune function and may slow tumor growth. Aim for 100 to 150 nanograms per milliliter, but get your levels tested first. Too much isn't better. Sunlight and fatty fish like salmon are great sources. Embrace intermittent fasting. Giving your pancreas a rest reduces inflammation. A 16:8 schedule, eat in 8 hours, fast for 16, is a solid start. A 2021 Nature Reviews cancer study found fasting ramps up autophagy, your body's cleanup crew, which could keep rogue cells in check. Go plant heavy. Cruciferous veggies, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and garlic are packed with anti-cancer compounds like sulforaphane. A 2021 Frontiers in Oncology study also praised berberine, a plant extract that mimics metformin's cancer-fighting effects. Add it to your smoothie, or talk to a naturopath about supplements. Sip green tea. This is our personal fave. Green tea's EGCG antioxidant has shown promise in slowing tumor growth in lab studies. Cancer Letters, 2020. Brew a cup daily. It's calming, cheap, and proactive. If these tips are sparking ideas, hit that like button and share your favorite health hack in the comments. What's one change you've made that stuck? A word on fasting. Let's double click on fasting because we're obsessed with its potential. Prolonged fasting, 24 to 48 hours with just water, starves cancer cells of glucose and growth factors, forcing them to scramble. A 2023 Nature Communications study found that fasting boosted chemo's punch in mouse models of pancreatic cancer, shrinking tumors by 30% more than chemo alone. But here's the deal, this isn't a free-for-all. If you're underweight, diabetic, or have health conditions, prolonged fasting could backfire. Start with intermittent fasting and work with a doctor to scale up safely. Our story? We've seen friends try fasting and feel sharper, lighter, and more energized. It's not a cure, but it's like hitting reset on your system. Curious about fasting? Drop a comment, have you tried it, or is it on your radar? Risk factors to watch. Before we wrap this section, let's talk risk factors, because prevention starts with awareness. Age is a big one. Most cases hit after 50, with risk climbing into your 60s and 70s. Obesity and type 2 diabetes are major players, often linked to chronic inflammation from poor diet. A 2022 International Journal of Cancer study pegged obesity as a 20% risk booster, while diabetes doubles the odds. Genetics can up the ante too. BRCA2 mutations, tied to breast and ovarian cancer, also raise pancreatic risk, per Cleveland Clinic. If your family's got a history of these cancers, genetic counseling could be a smart move. Smoking and heavy drinking are no-nos. Alcohol inflames the pancreas, and a 2021 addiction study linked binge drinking to a 15% higher risk. Moderation's your friend here. One wild card? Chronic pancreatitis, often from years of alcohol or gallstones, can set the stage for cancer. If you've got a history of pancreas issues, regular checkups are non-negotiable. If this list has you thinking, give us a like and share in the comments what's one risk factor you're tackling right now. Conclusion, don't ignore the whispers. Alright, friends, we've covered a lot. 7 silent signs, game-changing science, and practical steps to take control. Let me leave you with a story that drives this home. A few years back, a neighbor of mine, Tom, started losing weight and feeling full after small meals. He chalked it up to stress, but his wife pushed him to see a doctor. Good thing she did. An early scan caught pancreatic cancer at stage I, and after surgery, he's thriving today. That's the power of listening to your body. Here's my final thought. Your body's always talking, but it's up to you to hear it. Don't ignore those whispers, whether it's fatigue, pain, or a gut feeling, something's off. Jot down symptoms, talk to your doctor, and advocate for tests like blood work or imaging. Early action can rewrite your story. If this video hit home, drop a comment below. Tell me what signs you're watching for, or share your wellness tips. Hit that like button and subscribe to Natural Healing Hub for more health deep dives. Want to dive deeper? Check out the links in the description to trusted resources like Mayo Clinic and Healthline. Let's keep this conversation going, because your health is worth it. See you in the next one.